Okay, here we got a game one. Let's see. We've got 2 lands in our hand, and the Carrion Feeder turn 1, turn 2 Sign in Blood. And we can... we could also just turn 2, cycle this thing, get the land for turn 3, Ghoul Razor it back to our hand. That's fine. Mulligan, no, that's fine. We've got the 2 lands. I guess we can't start with the turn 1 Feeder if we want to play the Baron more tapped. Our turn 2 isn't really that great either, so I think let's see what our opponent's playing. Elves, huh? I imagine they're going to be flooding the board pretty quickly then. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play the Carrion Feeder then. Yeah, so they've been flooding the board with dudes. I don't know that we have enough removal to take care of all of them. We don't have any mass removal main board. But that thing will need to die pretty quickly. We're drawing plenty of land, so this guy's cycling is not going to be very relevant in this game. I think we're going to leave with Sign in Blood and see if we can find anything that'll tell us a little bit more about our game plan. We can't even attack. More lands. Alright, well, that's not good. Go ahead and open up our graveyard here. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This represents number 7. 7 lands. So he's going to have a lot of mana next turn. And we can't really block with the Carrion Feeder. It just won't let us anyways. And this guy can currently turn off our Nameless Inversion. It's pretty bad for us. Oh, he's pumping. Okay. So if we draw Nameless, we're just going to immediately kill this. Land. Okay, I guess we'll cycle this and see if we can... There we go. We drew it. So I don't care if he plays a bunch of stuff. He's down to 3 cards in hand. Getting this off the table or else we're going to just get aggroed really fast. Alright, I'll swing in. He won't block here. If he blocks, then I'm actually pretty happy about that. Alright, so now we can... we can Ghoul-Caller's Chant back just the inversion if we'd like. Then use it to kill the priest. Or the Well-Wisher's going to game him a whole bunch of life, so we might want to kill that also. We're going to take 2. We're down to 12 already. So again, our choices are we can Ghoul Razor just to force getting this back. We won't be able to do anything useful with it this turn. It's going to have to wait a turn. He clearly doesn't have anything else mana intensive to play. He would have played it. Because this could have tapped for 3 and this could have tapped for another 1, so he would have had 4 mana. He might have the blue card in his hand, that Distant Melody, I think. So he doesn't have any blue mana in play at the moment. If we can get the Well-Wishers and the other guy, this one, the Timberwatch Elf, off the table, we can eventually overwhelm him with Twisted Abomination and just like 2/2s. I think that's the game plan I'm going to go for. So I'm probably going to cycle this Baron more, see what we hit, and then just Ghoul Razor back. This Nameless is probably the idea here. But I want to cycle first to find out what we're going to hit. Butcher Ghoul. I can also play the Butcher's Ghoul, attack, sack the Butcher Ghoul, hit him for 2, and then I have a 2/2 to block. I have a 2/2 to block either way, but this way I get in 1 more point of damage. It's not as efficient on my mana, though. Let's go ahead and play our land so our opponent doesn't think we're AFK. Alternatively, we can Butcher Ghoul and then sack and then get back both these. So we have so we get to swing for 3 and we have 2 zombies back in our hand. But it still leaves us, we're still going to take a bunch of damage in the crackback. Bunches in like 3. This is going to be undoing most of the damage pretty soon here anyways. I think I kind of like just playing Ghoul Razor and attacking. No, actually, I think I like Butcher's Ghoul better. Let's go with Butcher's Ghoul. We'll attack. I'm sure he won't block. No block. Alright, let's go ahead and sack this guy. Alright, and let's do it again. Sack this guy. Let's go to main step. We get to hit him for 3, hooray. And let's chant back and get Butcher School Nameless for black. Go. So we got a removal spell for the Well-Wisher. And he has the mana to cast this thing if he wants to go ahead and... He's going to draw 3 here. Yeah, so he gets to draw 3. And we can control what we get back with Ghoul Razor as long as we don't cycle anything. Then we can just save Nameless for this and the Timberwatch Elf. Yeah, so he's going to have plenty of mana. This thing can't tap, so that's about it for this turn. And he can gain 4 here, go back up to 20. But we didn't take any damage ourselves, and we're... What's this dude? Okay, well, he didn't mean to play that, but... Oh, he did mean to play that. So he's going to swing for 5. So we're down to 7. I got Grey Merchant. I don't think we want to play him yet. He'll have something to do next turn. The chances of him having another one of this in hand, sure he could. And if he does, I don't know that we can even really play around that card. We'd have to Nameless in response. This guy can't block, so we're definitely swinging in. Let's plan our turn. We've got a land, so we're sitting at 5. We can Nameless the Well-Wisher, Ghoul Razor, get it back. We can also Nameless the Well-Wisher and then just put a Butcher's Ghoul into play to have a blocker. Might work out better. Well, I guess we'll have a blocker either way with Ghoul Razor. So I think I'm going to go with this play. Let's Nameless the Well-Wisher for black. Alright, and then we will swing in. Unlikely that he'll block. Alright, Ghoul Razor, get back our thing. Alright, go ahead. So we've got a blocker for his 1/1s, and if he does have a pump spell, which he can play Query Ranger, it'll pump it for +4. Oh, another one of those. Alright, this game's kind of getting out of hand now. He just drew, what, 7 cards extra? And he's got a lot more mana. He's going to have 4 or more mana to play more things. He's playing Morph. It's a Birch Lore. Yep. He's down to 13, so he's not necessarily close to dead. If he swings with both of these, we'll definitely block the Priest here instead. Nope, he's got mana, so he is sitting at 3 mana. This is potentially 4, 5. Yeah, so if he attacks here, I've got to block because the pump spell will give it +6, which is Xaxes. Not a very manly word, is that? Xaxes. Oh, he drew the 3rd one, and he's trying to cast it. He doesn't have any blue mana right now. Oh, but he does with Birch Lore. Okay, so he's certainly kind of going off this turn. So he's going to draw another 6. There's 9 cards in hand now, so we can assume at least one's got to be like Wirewood Pride. Can untap Priest and kind of go off. I'm all for trying to grind out the games, but I don't really think this deck is built to beat, what is basically combo when he drew 3 Distant Melodies and an island, so. I mean, it's Elves. The cards are strong no matter how you play them. But you kind of need the right ones. Yeah, so we're definitely dead on the crackback. I don't really know that we can do much. And we're going to have to rely on the witches from the sideboard to take care of most of his guys. I don't think I've ever actually played against Elves and Pauper. It's clearly strong. I don't know if usually all the things just get bolted and they just are left with 2 or 3 dudes, but it's quite a board for turn 5. I'm not exactly sure if Carrion Feeder proved his worth this game, but I think he did okay. So he is swinging with both. We're probably dead then. No, he has no mana. Oh, he can use Queer and Ranger. I don't know if he used both of them yet. I know he used one. Both the forests are gone, so I assume... I mean, there is no forest, so he can't return the forest to his hand. Let's go ahead and block the priest, because it adds a ton of mana. If we'll take one here, go to 6. Eat his guy. I mean, he has 7 cards in hand. We're basically dead to anything, and also on board. Like, he's got Timberwatch Elf, which we can untap 3 times. Some kind of Conspire card. Oh, yeah, the Birch Lore, right. It's really hard to see with these freaking chains on everything. Cool. So our opponent goldfished us. That was fun. We'll definitely bring in the witches. Maybe the Wrench Mine. That should be able to hit 2 cards from his hand if he's got the Distant Melody stuck in his hand. I don't know that I want much else here. Carrion Feeder didn't really do much. He's not going to be able to block. He's also the 1/1 in the deck. I don't know that I like cutting all of them, though. I think I'll cut 3 of them. And then I can cut a Chant because I have less synergy with that. Or I can cut a Butcher's Ghoul because all he's going to be doing is attacking for 1 because he'll never block. I think I'll probably do that. Just cut 1 Ghoul. And then I'm left with a bunch of removal spells. I guess these Chainers aren't very good either, but I don't know exactly what to bring in. I mean, I guess, taking 2 mana to take him off 1 elf might be worth it if he's only drawing 1 elf a turn, if we can keep him off Distant Melodies. It's worth a shot, I guess. It's a lot of lands. But that's essentially 1, 2, 3. It's essentially just 6. This guy's basically a land. I don't really know how well it mulligans, but this is at least another card, so would I keep this 6 land hand, or a 6 card hand that had these 4 and these 2? I would, so I don't think I'm going to mull. We'll probably just kill his first elf. Let's go land, instep. Alright, we'll cycle this in our instep. Hopefully draw some non-lands. And kill his first guy on his turn. Well, that doesn't tap for mana, but it still can still start doing damage to us. We kind of need to save this for the real cards, which are the Well-Wisher and the Timberwatch. So I think we'll take the conservative play. Do I play the Butcher's Ghoul or the Sign in Blood? Probably Sign in Blood. I don't think Butcher's Ghoul's not doing much right now, so we have some spare time. Let's take our time and go ahead and Sign in Blood now. This guy being on board doesn't do much for us. Let's organize our hand a little bit. Alright, so we've got some late game threats, some removal, and just this 1/1 Undying. He looks funny, just a 1/1 Undying. Maybe not the strongest card in the world, but he's pretty good at stopping 1/1 tokens and goblin decks, and anything that's enchanted as like a big giant +6/+6 first striker with the ethereal armor that all the enchantment decks play. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and play this guy. Butcher's Ghoul. The rest of our plays didn't really do anything. We can edict away a single Visionary that doesn't seem to be doing much for us. And I think Nameless Inversion is going to have better targets. Edict is... I'm probably just going to fire this off next turn if I have nothing else to do with the mana. It's not very good in this matchup, so... I don't really have Shrivels or Pestilence to bring in. Maybe I should have mulliganed for a Witch. I mean, our hand is pretty lackluster. So, I think I'll just block. I'm fine jumping here and turning myself into a 2/2. So we can trade up on the rest of the guys. However, him not being a Undying anymore means I'm not really willing to throw him away in front of the other cards. The Timberwatch Elf, I guess. Well, he'll probably get rid of the Visionary when I edict him. Let's go ahead and grab him for black, black. I don't think I want to kill the Well-Wisher. I don't really mind him gaining a bunch of life. It's going to be difficult for us to win regardless. So we'll go instep. No attack. I'll block here. If he attacks, I'm happy to dwindle his elf count down to very low. He's only got 2 lands. He may have a third one here. He's got 3 lands. No Priest of Titania to really go crazy with the elf. So I'm glad I waited. And he's not willing to trade, it looks like. And at the end of turn, we'll just inversion this thing. I'll cycle this another time, but I think I want to use our mana on what our plan is going to be. Go ahead and kill that guy now. So we've got a bunch of late game in hand. These aren't really going to shoot for that much, but they do a pretty decent job of blocking. Let's go and bring our graveyard out next turn. So here's our yard. And we just got a Ghoul-Caller's Chant, so we can swing in. He probably won't block. And then we can... So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This gets us another 6. So we can swing in, he won't block, and then we can cycle this, which takes 2 mana. We'll have 3 left. We can Ghoul-Caller's Chant and then get Nameless and kill this. That's a fine plan. We take 2, and he hits us, and we hit him for 2. So we're basically just trading 2 damage, but we're giving him the opportunity to block here. Oh, shoot. I think it's pretty unlikely he'll block. Yep, he doesn't. So let's go ahead and cycle this. Black, black. We'll do this before we play our so our opponent doesn't know we have an extra land in hand. Let's return Abomination and Nameless for black. And should I just kill this now, or should I kill the guy that's gaining life? This is going to make our racing pretty irrelevant, so we'll have blockers for this guy eventually. This thing will, however, keep gaining life, so I'm just going to do that now. He's also tapped out, and he doesn't have the +X elf spell thing, which he can use to sort of counter our removal in the future. Yeah, so we're just sort of racing here, but we have Grey Merchants and this unbeatable 5/3 in our hand, which will eventually come down. He has no removal, so we can just straight play this without having to worry about leaving up regeneration mana, and it can block forever, or it can just start hitting in for 5, and 5 damage is pretty good. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 6 mana. We can just slam this down, and then he'll only die to if he pumps this guy with the +X spell, which is a pretty decent use. I'd rather him do that and not kill me with it later on, so I think I'm okay with that. We'll swing in, go to main step. Alright, let's go land and just cast for all the mana and pass it. So again, I'm happy to block here. If he decides to, use the pump spell. Actually, if you use the pump spell, his guy will still die, so that doesn't... It's very unlikely. So the aggro plan's sort of working out now. We got him down to 19. Drew him Nameless. This is going to be for a future Timberwatch. I think we're just going to save that, although we don't need to leave the mana up for it, so I think I'll Grey Merchant first to guarantee the extra damage in case he does decide to block. Let's go land, Grey Merchant. Alright, so that will gain us, 4? So we're up at 18. If he does have double pump spell when he attacks, that'll be, let's say he plays elf, elf, and then goes pump, pump. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be +10 to his 2/2, and he could also attack with 2 more. Very unlikely, I think. We'll attack with both. Hey, Dunzo. We also have mana for this open in case he does play the pump spell. I mean, if he blocks with all these, I'll totally regenerate it. If he blocks and pumps, we'll regenerate it. Creatures deal no damage this turn. Gain 1 life for each. Okay, so he gets to gain 2 and not take 7. So that was a gain 9 spell. But it didn't really do much to the board, did it? 3 hands, 3 lands, so 3 cards in his hand. He might have Distant Melody, but he doesn't have any islands, and he doesn't have any Birch Lords to help him cast that. And this game was an example of we just drew the top end of our deck. I'm just going to save that. We drew 2 Garys and this guy. I can cycle this guy, or I can just play him. And I'm probably just going to play him. I'll do it before I play an extra Gary out. I'm happy to get the highest drain I can. So I'm just going to swing in. And if our opponent ever almost lets us get oops lethal, this thing actually is +3/-3, so it can effectively bolt our opponent as long as we're not killing our creature. So specifically Gary can turn into a 5/1. And you can recur it, so it's worth using. We don't really have any black flyers or anything evasive, but infinitely regenerative. I'm not going to pump this guy, because he'll die. Nope, he just takes it. He has another one. Alright, well, he's gaining life off of sideboard cards, that's for sure. Alright, so that's only combat damage. So he's going to go up to 20 here. Alright, so I'm convinced his hand is probably... He hasn't played any elves, so it's got to be the visionary thing and some pump spells, and he's just trying to save them. We can go Dragger for 2 to cycle. Maybe get a better card. Could just draw me another land, though, but we've got some really good cards. I think I'm okay to just cycle this. I might get something much better than... Or not. That's fine. We're going to draw that anyways. I'm going to go ahead and Grey Merchant now. Drain him for a bunch. So we're up to 24 at this point, and his massive Elves plan isn't really working, so he just concedes. That's